There is a brand new game coming out that nobody is talking about, and that game is SAO Fractured Daydream. Now, wait, don't leave. I know what you're thinking. This is just another SAO dating sim JRPG that flies under the radar. But I promise this one's a little bit different. The reason I believe this game is going to be different is because it actually starts to take advantage of what makes SAO so great: the world. For many, SAO has a reputation for wasted potential. The world of SAO is a fantastic concept, but in my humble opinion, the games of SAO have never taken full advantage of that concept. Until now. Well, kinda. We'll get into it. In the beta test that was held this past weekend, there were 2 main modes. The final game will have seemingly 4 main modes, but I'm briefly only going to talk about the 2 modes that were in the test. If you want to see the other ones, I'll link a trailer down below. The first one was called Co-op mode, but that's a dumbass name, so I'm calling it Dungeon mode. This game mode kinda acts like a MOBA. You run around a level, you gain XP, completing quests, and at the end, all 20 players come together to defeat one of the bosses from the series. The 20 players in this mode are comprised of teams of 4. Every player gets to choose a beloved character to play as from across the series. Not you. Each complete with their own roles and abilities. The second mode, called Boss Raid, is exactly what it sounds like. All 20 players forego the MOBA mechanics and start in a boss room, leveling up as they do damage to a massive boss. This mode is super fun, however, the boss I played was a pain in the dick, and I really wish I got to play the Gleam Eyes boss, but I didn't realize that the boss would change on the different days of the event. Those were the 2 modes that were in the beta test. However, the 2 modes that were not in the beta test are the story mode and the mode I'm most excited for, free roam. I have high hopes for this mode because the best part about playing these 2 modes together was exploring the world of SAO. Running around floor 22, exploring the world, beating up enemies, using sword skills as your favorite character was probably the most fun thing I've done in an SAO game, hands down. But what really took me out of it was the invisible walls and the constant push the game has for you to continue on and beat the boss at the end of the level. I understand that's the point of the mode, so I'm not going to fault it for it. However, I really hope that the free roam mode fills that void. And when it comes to the boss battles, they're grand and a ton of fun. However, they're also extremely frustrating. The hitboxes and the speed at which these bosses move sometime, I swear are impossible to hit as a melee character. Even as a rifled character, it was extremely difficult. But besides that, I felt that every character was unique and satisfying to play as. However, there has been some discussion within the community saying that each character is a little bland. I can definitely see where they're coming from, because I don't think there's a way to customize your character's abilities yet, or if there ever will be a way. So there's a chance it may get repetitive. I'm assuming the hope from the developers is that the character leveling system and the gear system will offset that repetitiveness. Each character can be customized with unique equipment and passive abilities. These are obtained at random from completing dungeon quests and beating raid bosses. Obtaining new equipment in this game is pretty satisfying. However, there is one thing that is glaringly wrong with the loot system. Every practical equipment in the game, such as swords that give you buffs and new stats, are instanced for every player. But there is one item in the game that is not instanced for every player, and that is cosmetic items. The way you obtain cosmetic items in this game is stupid. The boss will have a random chance of dropping a cosmetic item, however, it's a free-for-all whoever grabs it first. The second way you can get a cosmetic item is by getting the last hit bonus. And if you're familiar with SAO, you already know what that means. Whoever gets the last hit on the boss gets the item, and it is limited to 1 person. I played the beta for probably 4 or 5 hours, and never did I once get the last hit bonus. This is one of those mechanics that works great on paper, but in practice, it's a terrible idea. I wouldn't mind it being a thing if it wasn't for the fact that all other cosmetic items that have a chance to drop are not instanced as well. If those randomly dropped cosmetic items were instanced for the whole lobby, then I wouldn't have a problem with it, and the last hit bonus can be a guarantee for anyone who gets it. But that's just my personal opinion, and I hope it changes for the final release. If you couldn't already tell, I'm a massive SAO fan, despite its flaws. But if you remember back to the beginning of the video, I said this game starts to take advantage of what makes SAO so great. Emphasis on the word start. This is by no means a perfect SAO game. It has many flaws, one being the optimization. This game runs like hot garbage on my 2060 Super. Another being that the nature of the game is still not what players want. Players want a SAO game, a real MMO SAO game. Why Bandai Namco refuses to make it is beyond me. They would make millions if they do it properly. However, I have hope that this game will light a fire under Bandai Namco and show that the genuine interest for an SAO-styled game like this can be more than just a MOBA or a story game. And finally, the last glaring reason why I think this game is the starting point for great SAO games and not the beginning is because of Bandai Namco themselves. This game is an online multiplayer game, and you know what that means? That means monetization. That means battle passes. That means microtransactions. That means the death of a small, fun game. As far as I know, there hasn't been any word on the monetization model that they plan on using for this game. However, knowing Bandai Namco's habits, I have a feeling it's gonna be pretty heavy. I have no problem with microtransactions, as long as they're done tastefully, but more often than not, they aren't. I'm not saying it's any guarantee that Bandai Namco will do this, I'm just thinking it's more likely than not. And because of the small player base, it has a chance to really kill the game off before it even has a chance to start. It's already confirmed that there are going to be 2 DLCs and some character packs for the online mode, which I don't have a problem with. I wish we would all go back to DLCs and character packs for games. My fear is what comes in between. Not to mention, the game is also a full-price $60 game. A lot of people have been saying already that that's too high for what it is. I personally think that $60 is fine for the game as long as the launch content is more than what was in the playtest, which is almost a guarantee since it was a beta. As long as the devs continue to be creative with their boss fights and level design, as well as consistently putting out new content, I feel this game has real potential to take off. But that's just me, and I'm no game reviewer, so I'm not going to say whether or not you should go out and buy this game for your own. That's a decision for you to make. And this was just my little opinion. SAO Fractured Daydream I think comes out on October 4th, 2024, and I plan on playing the multiplayer mode quite a bit when it comes out. But that's all I got. If you liked what you saw, maybe leave a like on the video, hit the subscribe button, comment below, whatever the hell you want to do, I guess. And I'll see you in the next one.